Turn to another football story, a very intriguing football story. Flash, tell me who Pelly Ruddock is.
Pelly Ruddock is a young 17-year-old boy who was at Borehawood and today has been snapped up by West Ham. Very shrewd, Sam Allardyce. And Borehawood have got quite a few young boys coming through. You told me they've got 150.
Yeah,
I wouldn't like to be nailed down to the exact number, but they've got a massive, I'd say they've got around 150 young boys from 16 to 19 in like an added academy. Yeah, and they do things the right way.
Yeah, and during your career as a sort of a talent scout, a football scout, a man who's been sent out by managers to assess young players, you've actually had some dealings with Borehawood. Yeah,
I have. Basically, Borehawood are run by Ian Allinson, the old Arsenal their manager is Ian Allison. I got wind of a couple of their players. Rung up Danny Hunter, who's the chairman. I went through the right thing, said, listen, we'd like to have a look at this young lad. And obviously, under your guidance, would we be able to have him for a couple of weeks training? See how he gets on with our 16 to 19s, and then send him back, but still keep an eye on his progression. And then, obviously, if we can take it further down the line, we would obviously like to do that. Got on very, very well. The boy's doing well. He's still developing. And they've got a load of players developing.
OK, fine. Well, you say you rang up Danny Hunter. I actually rang up Danny Hunter this evening. I wanted to find out what's going on there. I wanted to find out how much of a prospect Pelly Ruddock is. Danny Hunter, chairman of Borehawood, had this to say. Danny, thank you very much indeed for joining us as chairman of Borehawood. Moments like this, successes like this, young Pelly Ruddock going up the footballing ladder must be extremely rewarding for you.
Well, in all fairness, I mean, it's nothing more than the lad deserves. He's been with us 3 seasons. He's worked extremely hard, and in all fairness, the hard work's been rewarded. His talent's been spotted, and he's gone and took his chance. So yeah, we're absolutely thrilled for him and his family.
Dan, obviously, it was 2 years ago, I think, you sold Simon Thomas to Crystal Palace. So Borehawood, it's not the first time they've actually brought players that are going to go on and play in the league.
No, in all fairness, we've also brought people through. We've brought Lee Hodson through, who's played 80-odd games now for Watford. Matty Witchlow also, in and around the Watford first team. So we've got a good track record now for producing young players, and season by season we seem to be getting stronger, and it seems to be being recognised by the pro clubs. It
certainly does. Now, Danny, tell us a bit about this young lad, Pelly Ruddock, 17. Is he a protégé? Is he going to make it? What's his qualities?
Well, he's a big, strong boy. He's athletic. He's 6'1". He's been playing in our first team in the Conference South. And in all fairness, he doesn't look out of place in senior men's football. I think that's been recognised by West Ham. They had a good look at him. They arranged an in-house game for Sam Allardyce to run the rule over him, and I think he's got a big future. But we all know, he needs a little bit of luck as well. And if he gets that, it won't be for the fact that he won't have a good attitude. He's got good discipline. He's got good desire, and he can play. So. You need that little bit of luck then, and if he gets that, I think he's got a shot at it.
Dan, who does he remind you of? What player would be closest to what you hope he'll turn into?
Well, he drives out of midfield, Gordon. He picks the ball up and he's powerful. So, it's hard to give cliches, but someone who drives on out of midfield and he's got something on the end of it. A young Stevie G might come to mind, but that's a silly label maybe to put on a young lad's head when he's coming out of non-league.
Danny, how do you prepare a lad to go from Borehawood, with the greatest of respect, where he's had a very good grounding, into the big time with West Ham? I mean, is he going to turn out to be, in the words of one famous manager, a baby Bentley boy?
No. We have a strict code of conduct here at the club. We emphasise to him the importance of living the right life. We emphasise to him the importance of education. But we also emphasise, from top to bottom. We like them to get on the ball, play. And technically, we bring them on. We're not a typical non-league team in that respect. In that we invest heavily in our youth structure. All our coaches are from pro backgrounds. We have 4 full-time coaches here, 2 full-time medical staff, and we run the largest 16 to 19 sports education academy in the country. So we have over 200 boys, all in education, all doing A-levels, construction courses, and the like. And Pelly's one of the elite boys who's come through that system from an under-16 with us. And in all fairness, he's a great lad. He comes from good stock. His parents are very supportive, and I don't think people will have any problems with him on that score. He's ambitious. And he's hungry. You know, he's not coming through he's not a young pro who's come through the ranks. He's come through the school of hard knocks, and he's desperate to go and be a success.
Dan, do you get many kids? Obviously, they've been with professional clubs from the age of 9 to 15, 16. They then get bombed out, and it's the first time they've actually had rejection in their life. And then obviously you've got to pick them up. But obviously now, with the amount of players that you've had in your academy and from 16 to 19, they can come to you, learn that there is a way back into football, and by the same way, learn the facts of life away from the football pitch that's then going to enhance them if they get the chance.
Yeah, I think that's true. I think, you know, the big thing for a lot of the boys is you need to pick them back up and get them to love the game again. You know, they've faced rejection for the first time, or maybe for some of them even the second or third time. And, you know, the one thing we try and do is dust them down, work on the positives, make sure that they understand that at the end of the day it's about keeping the ball, playing the right way. And if they keep working hard, we call it the ad factor at the club. If you show the right attitude, the right discipline and the right desire, we'll give you the opportunity. You can showcase your talent, and if you're good enough, someone will give you a shout, someone will give you a chance. And it seems to be happening. Tonight we've got a Hart Senior Cup game, yep. And 9 of the actual 16 have all come through the academy, and we've got an average age going out there of 20, with 2 16-year-olds in and around the squad. So, you know, after Pelly, there's maybe 1 or 2 others that will be next off the conveyor belt.
Well, that's fantastic, Danny. We'll catch up with the results of your game tonight a bit later on. I'll tell you what I might do. I might get hold of Davy Moyes and send him down there. We need a couple of strikers. If you've got anybody, mate, perhaps you could help out Everton.
Listen, it was wonderful to speak to you all, and thank you very much for showing an interest.
Nope. Yeah, it's Danny Hunter, chairman of Borehawood, talking about the prodigy, which is Pelly Ruddock, going off to West Ham. And as you quite rightly say, they've got a track record for that sort of thing, Flash. Let's go up to the Skype wall. Sean's a West Ham fan. Sean, good evening to you.
Good evening.
Yeah,
good evening,
great
Sean.
to have you on the show. Thank you very much indeed. Your picture is crystal clear, by the way, so you've either got a very good webcam or a very good computer. But it's great to see you on the Skype wall. Now, Sean, let me put this to you. You've taken this young kid from Borehawood. Fantastic. It could be intuitive. It could be Sam keeping his eye on youth. Or could it be a sign of desperation that, you know, you're having to go to Borehawood to get your players? Which of the two would you prefer to believe?
Well, I think they've got a really good programme. I don't know if the chairman spoke about it, but they do this, I think it's called PASS. I think it's, the Programme for Academic and Sporting Achievement. Mm. They're one of the first clubs to do it. So they take these youngsters and they're schooling them and training them for football, and they're first in the country to do it. And I think it really fits well with, you know, we're the Academy of Football. Where else could he come? You know, QPR called, Tottenham called, Arsenal called, Leeds, Reading, if you believe all the papers. Yep. They all wanted him, but he came to West Ham.
Yeah, Sean, the good thing about that is that you've mentioned the Academy of Football. Now, things have been thrown at West Ham this year saying that they've not played the football. They've actually been playing the long ball because Big Sam, the way he played at Bolton. But footballers are what West Ham are all about, isn't it?
Yeah, and we're all about getting back into the Premiership and, you know, necessary evil to whatever we need to do. You know, yes, there's been a few long punts by Robert Green, little flick on by Carlton Cole and goals by Nolan only last week. You know, we do whatever we need to do to get back into the Premiership. That doesn't, you know, the Academy of Football has been there a long time. Tony Carr's going to be around. And we're building for the future. You know, brilliant prospect in Robert Hall as well, who's currently on loan to Oxford. And, you know, they haven't all turned out okay. You know, Freddie Sears, we were hoping, would be a lot better. But, you know, there's a good few prospects there. And it's good to put Pelly Ruddock next to them as well, and you know, who knows? It could be a future superstar.
Sean, that's probably the main thing, isn't it? That he's not rushed. He's not thrown in there. It's not a sink or swim situation. It's actually give him to Tony Carr and let him bring him on. And when he's ready, give Sam the nod. He's basically another potential that you've got to call on at some stage. Yeah,
I think he's for the future. Do you know what? He's not going to get many. He's going to be in the development squad. You know, don't get me wrong. He's jumped straight up from the under-18s into the first squad at Borehawood. And he's been training with the first team. I think he'll learn a lot from training with the first team and with the development crew, the squad at West Ham. And who knows, you know, he could be another superstar. And, you know, we've produced quite a few of them in the past. And we haven't of late, but I think there's a good crop coming through. And, you know, hopefully you'll see some of them maybe next year when we get back to the Premiership.
Yeah, OK. Well, let's talk about you getting back to the Premiership, because we're all very excited by Pelly Ruddock. We all want to see these young players coming through and, you know, making startling impressions upon the football landscape. But why is it that you can't win at home, or if you can win at home, not often enough, and yet you're winning away? You know, it's astonishing to think with your home record that you're in second position in the Championship.
Yeah, well, do you know what? I'm not moaning about it. I'm going away to Reading on Saturday. I'm going to have a really good time out. You know, the tickets are half price compared to the Premiership when you go away. We have a really good time. And we're winning. You know, we had one small slip up. I think we did everything right against Burnley on Saturday, except put the ball in the back of the net enough times. You know, we were a bit unlucky. But it's one game. You know, we lost one game. And Southampton lost against bottom of the league, Doncaster. It meant nothing. We're still second. We're still 3 points clear. And I've no doubt that Sam will do the job and get us promoted at first attempt.
OK, but, I mean, you would be top of the table by a margin now if you'd have won half the games you lost at home.
Don't matter.
Well, it should matter. It should matter. Suppose you lose your away form after Christmas. What are you going to do then?
I think we'll get stronger. Look, at the moment, we're not hitting our best form and we're still second in the league. I think we've got a deep squad. After Christmas, I think a lot of teams will struggle. We've got the deep squad. We know that Sam's got at least £6 million to spend in January. He will bring in 3 or 4 players. And, you know, I think we're going to get stronger. As the season gets longer, West Ham will get stronger and some of the others will fall away.
Yeah, Sean, I make you right 100%. Obviously, I see nearly every Southampton game. I saw them beat you down at St Mary's. But I've said all along... you don't travel too far, though. You've mentioned Southampton away and Reading away. All right, you just keep your own games, all right?
I don't go too far up north.
No, exactly. It's too cold this time of year. But saying too cold, that's when the big lumps, and they have got some proper lumps, by the way.
Absolutely.
In the winter, when the ball is not going to be able to be fizzed around on the floor, they will come into their own. Big Sam knows what he's doing. They've got a squad of proper players, and I see only them. And I think it's a 3-horse race. I think it's Leicester are the outsiders of the 3, and it's Saints to follow. I think West Ham will win the league.
Well, I have no doubt that that Big Sam's got it all, you know, got it there and will do it for you. It's just confusing how a lot of teams, not just West Ham, are now feeling the pressure at home and going away and winning.
Well, I can answer that for you, because basically teams come and they try and park the bus and they frustrate and they hit you on the break. Whereas at home, they've got to try and come out because their fans are not going to they're not going to be happy with them coming out and then parking the bus in front of their own goal. So when they go to Upton Park, they look there, and if they get a 0-0, that's like winning 5. If they manage to get a win, all well and good.
Sean, I'm very grateful to you for joining us tonight. Thank you for your input into the show. Hope we'll see you up on the Skype wall again very soon.
Cheers, Sean.
Yeah, Sean, thank you very much indeed. That's, amazing. Anyway,